Welcome to a two-part series. I want to see which one that I find most preferable today, at this very moment, years after I've played them. Will it be my personal used-to-be favorite, Raging Blast 2, or will it be the second Dragon Ball game in our little acclaimed series? It should... You might be able to guess what the second one is, because I think it's also like Raging Blast 2 and the other one are like the top two games in all... Let me turn the volume down a bit. In all of Dragon Ball, pretty much, games. But I'm not sure. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to train for a little bit, get back to the controls, and then we're going to come back, play some single player. So, and we're going to see which single player is the best in the second part with the other one. A little ton of tease for that second episode to stick around. But in all reality, we're going to focus on Raging Blast 2 right now. So, there's a bunch of interesting stuff, and I'm going to focus on the super interesting stuff. But for now, I will be right back with you while I train. Welcome back. Currently, we are observing the story mode, the main function of this game. What most people go for, aside from battling it out with their friends. So you can play as the basic Z fighters. We got Gohan as an adolescent, Teen Gohan, Kid Gohan, so all the Gohans, Goku, all the Z fighters. We got Vegeta with the Scouter, so it seems to go by time. This is a great organization, really fulfills my OCD, and that is literally, that's not sarcasm. This is very satisfying to see all this. As you can see, when I was younger, I got a lot of medals and stuff. I actually got a couple, let's say 1-2 years ago when I replayed this game. If you also look, the planet is connected to multiple other planets, and this means when you complete a certain area, it'll either unlock the character or unlock characters' paths. So you can't even progress as one character unless you beat another, which is really helpful in making sure you diversify, because, sorry, there's a fly. Because focusing on one character can get you bored a lot, especially if you have like ADHD or something. So they've made you like, oh, if you're a real Dragon Ball Z fan, or if you just like branching out, we're basically requiring you if you want to 100% it. But let's move on. We got the Trunks, we got Goten, we got Gotenks, who's not just a timed thing, which in some games he is. Vegito. I would like to mention, when you actually fight, if you have two of the characters meant for these fusions on your team, you can activate it, and I love that. Videl Bardock, that's one we don't see all the time. We did see El Samaj and Vegeta, but he's a lot more common nowadays. Raditz, Nappa, we can play as Raditz too after this. Like he gets a lot of flack. Zarbon, Dodoria, Ginyu, the entirety of the Ginyu Force. Frieza, all the androids. There's 19, Gero, Cell. Oh my gosh, all the boos. Broly, and then two of the fan-made characters made by, I think, the directors or something. I don't know, like literally two fan characters. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 3 Broly. Two friggin' fan characters. And you're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this. Not only do we have Ultimate Gohan and an actual Cyberman, Mecha Frieza, we almost never see Mecha Frieza. And if you look down below, there's even more. We got Cell Jr., Tabura, and then from the movies now, we literally have all the movies organized. I never noticed this before. That's awesome. Turles, Cooler, Metacooler, the Android 13, Zangia, Bojack, Super Janemba, my favorite villain. Don't judge me. Future Gohan, you have Nail. When have we ever been able to play as Nail? Maybe in the other game. that I have not been named. I don't remember any other time. And Kui. Okay, Kui is... I have never known people to play as Kui. You know what? We'll play as Kui after this, by the way. We'll play as Kui. Pikkon. One of my other favorite characters that's very underrated from the original Dragon Ball Z series. And also from... what's it called? Fusion Unleashed or whatever. With Gogeta. Tarble. Vegeta's little brother. If you have never seen him, look him up. There's an actual Dragon Ball Super episode with him. I think it might be Super. It's either Super or Z. But he is in the story. The other androids, the Cooler Force, and the character made for this game, Hachiyak. Hachiyak is so friggin' cool. He is the Broly of this game. You know how Broly's the Broly of other games, where he's the big buff guy, and even if he's a skinny version from Super, he takes them down. That's Hachiyak. There's an in-game movie you can watch. You'd probably have to pirate it just to find it nowadays, but if you have this game, you can watch an entire in-game movie that is actually really good if you're a Dragon Ball fan. Because it's like, it uses all the classic Dragon Ball stuff. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to go... Oof, I said two different people we're going to play. We're going to play as Kui. We're going to play as Kui just because for the flag. So what you do is you get... if I'm remembering this right, so you got a ton of different stuff you can do. Defeat all the villain warriors, but if I confirm, I can also go to... Is it Supers? Okay, Supers actually customizes what super you use, which, yeah, you can diversify on that too. But if you up your power level, you can equip more items that you've unlocked. I'm going to do... because we're going to go with... There's some really overpowered, so if you can really level them up, you can get stuff from, yep, health auto recover. We're not going to use that this time, but we are going to do damage regulator, and that'll stop us from dying in one hit. So, on a really tough, the thing is that isn't overpowering at all. You can have some immensely tough missions. There are some where you die in one hit, so you have to, and the guy is full, like, bars of health. So what I would do is you would equip immediate health regeneration, auto stock, like an additional stock and stuff like that. So you do everything you can so that if you take a hit, it'll be fine. So, yeah, they have this little mini game where you can hit buttons. I used to love that a lot. Yep, and we're in hell. That's where we are. So we're already dead. Kui is already dead. Because this does follow like a story. Okay, so very simple stuff, by the way, too. Because you can literally, yeah, you can rise and lower with 2 different buttons. Very simple combos. Simple taps for actual attacks. I would say my only complaint towards this would be that it's a little unresponsive with some stuff. Grab him. And yeah, you can crash into walls and they'll get stuck.
Tasteless fool.
But yeah, my one complaint would be they would have to remake this. Just because certain taps with... You know what? We don't have to stick to one story. It shows you unlocking. We're going to go to the other stories. We're going to do other stuff. See, look. Unlock. Kui gets more points. You get pictures. It's so freaking cool. But, so you tap the right stick to do super attacks. You cannot do one after another. Sadly, it's not possible. But... defeat the enemy within 120 suits. I'm going to do another item customize. This time we're going for melee. Because that's what I prefer. I prefer less shot stuff. Yes, you can charge. Powers up. Rush should be the normal attacks. Doesn't really matter. I'm just doing this for fun. To the people who are like, oh, just get to the fight already. I genuinely think customizing stuff can be fun. Not like Dark Souls where you take an hour, but like, oh, I'm gonna equip the next thing. I find that enjoyable because it very much satiates me. Okay, we're getting the field.
Hey, you respect your elders.
Yeah,
boy.
he does.
I will take care of you, defects.
The English voice actors can be a little odd sometimes. Oh, no, you don't. You're not gonna armor through this. Ah, dang it, it didn't fulfill. Yeah, see, that's another thing that I can say is a little bit of a problem. Sometimes when you tap, it doesn't fulfill exactly what you want. But in the end, and I can't charge because I'm an android. But that's a really cool thing. You can't charge because you're an android. And I could be wrong, but I think his attacks drained my ki. Is that country music playing? I don't know if that's normal. I feel like that's not the normal soundtrack. Country. We'll do another one with the android. And you know what? Because he's a really cool character. And you know what? We're going to do some super moves too. I'm going to show them off. Health constantly decreases. This is the point where you're like, oh no, whatever am I gonna do? First, with this. Makes it gradually refill. So, what this is going to do, and you would think, that's not gonna work, they're gonna cancel them out. No, it's actually gonna slow it. That's what you do on these missions. You do extra bars, you do health refill. Sometimes you gotta come back to them if it's like really bad. But Destroyed City.
I'll defeat Goku. You should sit back and rest. Who are you? I'll check.
Yeah, because you're already gone by the time he awakens, right? Come here, you little turd. Come here, you old turd. I may have infinite ki, but I can't do anything. Actually, I don't have infinite ki. Oh, look, he lost his hat. That's the thing I actually really like. Okay. Full power energy wave. You were in mid jump. Okay, come here. Oh gosh. This is what happens during those ones where you're supposed to gradually lose stuff. I also have unique, there it is. Silent, you butthole. Oh, got you. Yeah, you can do like the thing where you teleport behind each other. I just haven't done that in a while. I think you're supposed to instant block, but...
Rest well, Dr. Gero.
Bam. See, it can be very slow. It can be very fast-paced. I've had ones where I'm, like, sitting there clacking a controller. Okay. Well... that's enough of this one. I hope you enjoyed as we're on to the next game. If you stuck around for this long, I think you well deserve to know, if you haven't already guessed, Tenkaichi 3 is coming up next. I'm pretty sure this game and Tenkaichi 3 are the top 2 in the Dragon Ball games in how I've seen things. You can say whatever you want about like Xenoverse or whatever, but like as far as like critically acclaimed, which they highly deserve it, these two. We can also potentially touch on Supersonic Warriors if you guys want, because that's my favorite DS game and Game Boy game. So, yeah. Well, see you guys.